Morning. Um, Welcome new subscribers. Um, and I just want you to leave comments. I'm not going to open the comment section on BitChute because there's no blocking options, and I don't do back and forth with my enemies. It's a waste of time. But if you want to leave a comment, you could go to YouTube or even Brighteon and leave a comment over there. I got some more things in the background I'm not gonna say yet. It's a chess game. They hitting me, so I'm bobbing and weaving, you know. But nevertheless, this is a question. Let me show you some things that I intend to go over. Okay. Share my screen right quick. Show you some things, then I'm gonna give you my intro, and then I'm gonna get into it. All right. It's going over. You see the title up there. 1,200 black soldiers massacred at Van Dorn in 1943. Okay, and military regiment was the 364th. Okay, then I'm gonna go over the history of what this country has done. Okay, all right. All right, let me get back over here. Let me stop this and give y'all my intro, and we're gonna get into this.
To the ground, his killer walked up on them bowling and looked them in the eye. He said, "Aren't you gonna beg?" He said, "No, I signed up to die. Death don't have a hold on me, so death don't put no fear in me. I don't think that you hearing me to die. When I lay down on that bed, I'm gonna open up my eyes and my Lord gonna be signed up to die. Death don't have a hold on me, so death don't put no fear in me. I don't think that you hearing me to die. Die, die, die. I signed up to die."
A few technical issues right now. Hold on. Uh-oh. Let me mute that. Y'all bear with me. All right. So I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Let me get into this lesson. All right. I'm going to give you the video first. I'm going to give you the circumstantial evidence that's really not circumstantial, but I'm just going to word it like that. This is the North, by the way. This is right after we got through helping the North win the war. They rewarded us by putting us in concentration camp and killing us off. See, the Most High, He is showing us evidence that there is no reason for us to put our faith in this white supremacist world and system. The evidence is overwhelming. All this system has consistently done is kill us and exclaim that they are not guilty. But nevertheless, I'm gonna scroll down to the not the Bible verse, but to the video right here. And this is the African Diaspora News Channel. It used to be called the Advice Show, but the African Diaspora News Channel. You see the logo right there. All right. Let me show you what I got here.
If you're a human being, it will get to you. If it's within the history of America that's been hidden from all of us.
Let's keep that in context. How these same people that's been doing these rotten things to us want to hide the history. They're worried about the so-called feelings of their children. Our children are dying. Our children are commanded to stick their hands in toilets, but white folks are worried about the feelings of their children. Our children been dying and still dying at the hands of them, but they want to hide the evidence. There will be no hiding of the evidence because the Most High is the judge, and judgment is upon us right now. All right.
You know, there's a lot of things within the history of America that's been hidden from all of us, especially us within the Black community. And if you allow this school system to educate you and not really educate yourself, you're not going to know much of anything. Now, there was a place called the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi. And this was a concentration camp for Black people. America never speak about the concentration camp that they had for Black people. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Untouched fruit falls to the ground near the banks of the Mississippi River.
They talk about there's the most beautiful wild peach groves down in the Punch Bowl.
And researcher Paula Westbrook says, like a peach, the area known as the Devil's Punch Bowl has a pit, a mass grave from the 1860s. Historians estimate that in 1 year, up to 20,000 freed slaves died in contraband camps below these bluffs.
When the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez. And the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight.
So they decided to build an encampment for them at Devil's Punch Bowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let them out.
Don Estes is the former director of the Natchez City Cemetery.
I just put my own tombstone right there. You see Estes?
Learning history spent his life. He says Union troops ordered recaptured Black men to perform hard labor.
Right down, right here.
While women and children were all but left to die in the 3 Punch Bowl prisons.
Disease broke out among them, smallpox being the main one, and thousands died. They were begging to get out, turn me loose, and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. But they wouldn't let them out.
The Union Army did not allow them to remove the bodies from the camp. They just gave them shovels and said, bury them where they drop.
And I'd really like to show you more of this terrain, but it's just too thick with greenery. These bluffs are also straight down, so not only is it dangerous to navigate, it's still very mysterious back there.
It's a bed of alligators and snakes. It would take Indiana Jones to get back in there at this point.
Then you come on up washing away bluffs, and at the Devil's Punch Bowl that has so many people that no one knows how they got killed or when, and they're still down there wasted.
And even to this day, they talk about wild peach trees that come up down there. But no one in Natchez will eat them because they know what the fertilizer was.
But these people come up to you and act like they're the beacons of morality, and you should imitate them and be more like them, and say you're savage and you're inferior. Oh, understand something. You have never did the things that these people have done. Now, just imagine you are getting off the plantation of being treated like a slave. You're free. And because these Union soldiers, not Confederate soldiers, Union soldiers capture you, men, women, and children, put you in a concentration camp. Put the men in one area, the women and children in another area. The women and children were walled off with concrete walls, and they were just left to starve and die. Women and children, just evil, demonic people. Then you had the men was put to so much hard labor that they was begging to go back to the plantation. That's how bad it was. And did you hear, in 1 year, 20,000 Black people died. And these demons just say, oh, just bear them where they at. But yet, we can't get a dime for reparations, for slavery, for Jim Crow laws, for concentration camps, for bombing our churches, for destroying our towns like Rosewood, Black Wall Street, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and many other towns that these people have destroyed under the sanction of the sheriff, under the sanction of the governor. We don't get anything. But our so-called first Black president, we'll put up a little picture up. He decides last year, kind of around this time, to earmark $12 million to Holocaust survivors, which the Holocaust didn't happen here, but yet he can do that and no one says anything. But when they have anything related to you, nobody can do nothing. How dare you bring that mess up? They can give money to Japanese. Don't say nothing about that to them and their heirs, for what I read about that, in the billions. Don't say anything. But you know. You see, you need to know your history to understand this country, and also to understand where you're going, and also so it does not repeat itself again. We as Black people, part of the African diaspora, have suffered immensely. And everything that these people have done to us, the day is going to come where every part of that evil has to be judged. And that's why they losing their country as they speak right now. They can't understand why. They're wondering what's going on. They saying we want to take our country back. We need Trump to come do it for us, because it's been sanctioned for them to lose power in this nation. It's going to happen. Because when you look at atrocities like this, when you look at something from the pit of hell that happened to our brothers and sisters, they can't just keep going along and acting like everything is okay. And then when you bring this mess up to them, instead of them acknowledging it and saying, this is some evil stuff and we need to fix this, no, they're going to justify it and say, I had nothing to do with it. They're going to justify it and say, you didn't go through that, so what are you complaining for? All the things that they will say to you out of their evil minds, but when you refer to them about their stuff and what they go through, how dare you say that crap? You're evil for saying that. It's kind of quite funny how they are. That's why I tell y'all, don't take the word of these people. They don't mean no good to you. If you wouldn't take the word of the devil himself, why would you take their word? These white supremacists. But this is the things that we need to talk about within our history. We need to share this with our children. We need to let them know what our ancestors went through to get you to where even you're at today, so you can appreciate where you are today. Because those people that suffered and died, if they did not do that, if they did not go through all this stuff, maybe you wouldn't be where you're at today. And looking at stories like this should encourage you to fight even harder to make sure your people get free. Stop listening to these people when they tell you anything about your past or your present. I told y'all before, you need to put these people in their place and tell them to stay in their place in regards to what we got to do within our community. It just saddens me just to hear this story and just to imagine the pain and the horror and the suffering and the sickness and little kids just dying like that. I mean, it just gets to you. But, if you're a human being, it will get to you. If you're a demon, well, you're going to make excuses for it. But I don't know, let me know what you think about it in the comments about the Devil's Punch Bowl and what our people went through. Share the video and let people know how our people were slaughtered in the Black concentration camp. Like the video if you like the commentary. Subscribe for more news stories.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm just giving you what they have done. Because my research was kind of inconclusive, but you could tell something happened. I'm gonna show you what I found. Look, when you get through serving, you still a nigga. Your blood means nothing to these devils. Stop spilling our blood. Stop donating our blood. Stop dying in their wars and giving up our blood for the enemy. Our people needs our blood. Point blank. All right. This is what this is about. This is about education, which what they seek to hide. They seek to hide the truth. Remember, the Bible said men withdraw truth in unrighteousness. Let me see, can I find that for you? Just let me see, is that it? Yeah, Romans 1:18. The wrath of Yahuwah is revealed from heaven And you know what? He's using me to reveal some of the wrath. Anyone that's teaching the word against all ungodliness, not some of it. Don't teach the ungodliness of the white people. Don't teach the ungodliness of the so-called Hebrews. All of it. Against all ungodliness and all unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. There you go right there, Romans 1:18. Let me get back over here. Okay, let me get back to get on. I don't even know how I ended up on this morning. I be having visions, and I don't never know where they gonna go. But I just started research. But let me get into this. I don't want this video to be too long. All right, it's asking a question: were 1,000 African American soldiers gunned down by the army in a racially motivated shootout in 1943? I just gave you the backdrop of what they were doing and what they will do. But I still don't know. All right. Well, members of the controversial 364th Negro Infantry Regiment killed in Mississippi's Camp Van Dorn to silence their relentless and sometimes violent demands for equality in a segregated army. Now, right off the bat, I don't know nothing about alternate. Right off the bat, they are painting the black people as the aggressors. So this is white supremacist propaganda right here in the first few lines. You say, how do you know it's white supremacy propaganda? Why ain't you painting these white bigoted historical murderers and rapists as aggressors? You're painting the victims as the aggressors, as though we are looking around, looking for white folks to go out here and harass. All right, look. Just look at it. I'm debriefing you. Were members of the controversial 364th Negro Infantry Regiment killed at Mississippi's Camp Van Dorn to silence their relentless and sometimes violent demands for equality in a segregated army? Okay, what about the white supremacists? What about the Klan in the army? What about the racism in the United States military? What about the racism, the historical racism in the United States government? What about that? What about the racist lawmakers? But we relentless. We relentless because you will not let us rest. It don't matter what we do, here come you devils trying to kill us. All right. I didn't even see this until now. All right. All right, let me get on. You can go to this yourself. You see alternate. So I'm not going to read this. I'm going to scroll down. I want to get down to the facts of the 364. Some things I did know. The 364 was an all-black regiment of soldiers that had been stationed in the Jim Crow era, but they're not painting the Jim Crow as racist and violent. They're not painting them violent, but the soldiers that ended up dead, they painted as violent. Same thing on the news today. You criminalize Trayvon Martin. You criminalize Tamir Rice. You criminalize Breonna Taylor. Meanwhile, you humanize and let off they are killers. At that time, the Army had been intensifying its effort to recruit blacks. For what? You're not protecting us. Which goes back to this here. The next Civil War these white folks have, sit it out. Sit it out. That's a video you need to check out. Sit it out. I don't care if you got Chinese folks running down the United States streets. We get together and we come up with a plan on how we go survive. You let these heathens fight it out themselves. All right. Okay. At that time, the Army had begun intensifying its effort to recruit blacks, but was still racially segregated. The few black regiments, that's another thing. We got to stop. These folks don't want us around, so why stop going around them? Stop trying to be the first black in their institution and just be black and start our own institution. How about that? The few black regiments designated for combat were typically undertrained. That's on purpose. You don't want them knowing too much. Okay. undersupplied. That's on purpose. You don't want them having too many supplies because you're trying to kill them, and sent to stations where they were isolated and subject to insult and attack from hostile white civilian. Okay, what was the charges at? Where the laws at to protect the so-called black soldiers? Why was white civilians given access to black soldiers anyway? But the black soldiers are the violent and relentless, y'all. The black soldiers are relentless. Meanwhile, you got white civilians lynching them in uniforms. Meanwhile, that's going on. But the black soldiers, if you listen to these devils, boy, you're just going to be totally turned around, upside down, and lost. But I'm debriefing in the name of the Most High. All right. Okay. All right. The men of the 364, some of whom already survived 3 previous race riots. But you wondering why they're aggressive. See, some of y'all wondering why I'm aggressive. As though there's no consequences for the actions of you white folks in this government. But you wondering why people like me are sprouting up everywhere. You won't let us alone. You won't let us rest. All right. Okay. Look. Meanwhile, white civilians heavily armed, but black troops got limited supplies. Black troops got limited supplies. Where was that? I just read it to you up there earlier. I just read it to you. All right. Undertrained and undersupplied, but white folks armed to the teeth. Keep that in mind now. Heavily armed and braced for a violent clash. See, this is how you know something stinks. If the black soldiers went out engaging white people, they would be reprimanded by the military. But on the other hand, white civilians can come in and attack black folks and nothing happens. There is no justice. Why you want to be equal to a devil? I don't want to be equal to a devil. A devil is a devil. All right? I'm not looking for no equality. None of that. All right. And then you got a sheriff now this is the report that a sheriff killed a civilian. What the sheriff name at? You see how these devils leave out names? But when it's us, they give you name. They give a whole record of what you done did. But when it's white people that's doing all this stuff, you don't know the name, you don't know their history. But when it's us, they give you a whole rap sheet. Peep the plot. All right. And then it's saying Walker's company broke into base storerooms, stole rifles, and headed to the Centerville swearing revenge. Okay, document that. Where is the empirical evidence? Not this I'm white and I say so. Where is the evidence that they stole rifles? And even if they did, you got white folks that got weapons and they are not being protected by the military. So black folks are supposed to sit around like sitting ducks and wait on white folks to come kill us on a United States under the United States military while they sit back and let it go down. You see how they continuously painting the black folks. Look. Just look. See how they continuously painting black folks as though they don't see what's going on. Even if they did. The government, I just showed you, the military is not, the army isn't protecting its black troops from the white racist devils. And the devils got weapons. But black folks supposed to sit back and just die. All right. Our people need our blood. All right. What followed 364th Rally Cry is subject to conflicting reports. All right. Let me get the scroll on down. What happened? They started listing people AWOL. Okay, hold on. All right, here you go. That was chaos to be sure. The 364 morning reports, a kind of company by company daily attendance sheet. So they had records of the soldiers. No, dozens of soldiers as AWOL. They didn't never find these soldiers that run off. Think about that. Okay, they was AWOL. Did they ever find them? This is white people saying that the soldiers that come up missing was AWOL. Huh? Following the walking shooting and its aftermath. Files in the National Archive trace some who made their way north seeking from their local induction boards asylum from what they call life-threatening situation. So you telling me 1,000 soldiers went AWOL after violence ensued? 800 to 1,000. Now I can't tell you. I'm just showing you what's stank. All right. What happened to them? Who's responsible for keeping up with what these soldiers? Who's responsible for protecting them? Notice they don't say none of this stuff I'm bringing to your attention. Who was responsible? What's the name? What department? Who said they was AWOL? Where's the paperwork? Where's the investigation? Notice how when they do something, they get to investigate themselves. When the police kill us, the police get to investigate themselves. When the government do something, the government investigate themselves. When the school do something, the school investigate themselves. The criminals are investigating the criminals and finding themselves not guilty. And I'm going to find this Bible verse and I'm going to be out. Because it's twice this Bible verse that came to my mind. Okay. Here it is. Let me see. Where is it at? Whose possessors? Let me see. Nope. Let me see. Is this it? I'm gonna find this Bible verse. Let me open up another device. I got multiple ways. It is Zechariah 11:5. It's Zechariah 11 and verse 5. It's here. Where's verse 5? Oh, chapter 11. Let me see. Better yet, let me go here. Okay, Bible. Zechariah, where you at? Notice the Yah. Zechariah Yah. I did a video a few days ago. Y'all should check it out. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Okay, the prophecy of the shepherds. Thus says Yahuwah my Elohim, feed the flock for the slaughter, whose owners slay them and feel no guilt. Those who sell them, who've been sold, said, blessed be the name of the Lord, for I am rich. Who got rich off of selling? And their shepherds do not pity them. Who's supposed to be the shepherd? Who care are we in? All right. Zechariah 11:5. Let me see if I can find a meme for you. Let me see. Let me see. Get one right here. Let me see what this got. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. Let me see here. That's all right, though. That's all right. Let me go back. Let me click on the picture. How about that? Zechariah 11:5. It's just fun and game with these devils. Fun and game. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them, even our people are selling us out. The Congression of Black Caucus selling us out. They supposed to be our shepherds, and guess what? They're not getting away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. for I am rich. You know, they think they serving the Most High. They think they are rich. They think they are rich because they are serving the Most High. They are really rich because we broke the covenant. The riches were supposed to be ours. But since we rejected the Most High covenant, the riches go to the world. That's written in the word. All right, there you go right there. All right. Y'all keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. All right. Stop sharing my screen. And y'all, I got some stuff happening. Just keep your eyes open. I got some things in the background I can't say right now. I got a couple channels. They took the video down. I'm gonna get better at sharing links where you can find the videos they take down. Just keep your eyes open. I can't say right now. All right. See, I have no comments right now. Oh yeah. I need some moderators. Let me give you my email stuff down here. My email stuff. The email stuff down there. I'm gonna let that run through. I need some moderators for these channels. And I need to know you're a person. So if I ask for some info, it's not gonna be personal info. Something where I know you're not a white supremacist devil. All right? Be willing to give it up. And never mind, it don't matter if you don't. I can get rid of it anytime I want to. But I'm probably going to check. Where's the email at? Is the email Warriors at Yahoo? I didn't give you the email, did I? Here it is right here. Right here. See the email? Right there. All right? Y'all take care. Keep your head, and don't be fearing. None of that. He hasn't given us a spirit of fear. If he's given us a spirit, if you are afraid, something is wrong. Okay, that means something is wrong, and you need to question yourself. You need to get right. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Elohim. You need to get in the habit of listening to the word. That's where your faith coming from. The fear is coming by hearing. For example, people are worried about the COVID stuff. They had to hear about it in order to be afraid of it, right? Think about the word, all right? Y'all take care. And remember this.
At a table in the presence of my enemies, so they can watch me. At a table in the presence of my enemies, so they can watch me.